My son was kidnapped in a white van. He returned, but something is really wrong with him. I used to believe my son was a miracle. When he vanished one morning, only to show up again weeks later, everyone called it a blessing. But once you know the truth, you'll wish he'd stayed gone. On that day, our routine seemed normal enough. My wife, Hannah, dropped off our son, Tommy, at school. He was wearing that little black hoodie he loved, the one with a dinosaur print. Hannah was late for her shift, so she didn't walk him in like she usually did. She just gave him a quick, "Zip your jacket, sweetheart," then drove off. We never saw him enter the building, though. By mid-afternoon, when Tommy hadn't come home on the bus, I panicked and called the police. 2 weeks dragged by without any sign of him. Then a family on a road trip spotted a dirty, barefoot kid wandering near an abandoned barn. They recognized Tommy from the news and asked if he needed help. He just took a sip of the soda they offered and said, "I'm going home." They followed, calling 911, until he reached our front step. Hannah nearly collapsed with relief when she opened the door and saw him. Neighbors were cheering. Local reporters snapped photos. Everyone was ecstatic. Everyone but me, because I know something about Tommy, something horrifying. The truth is, Tommy isn't really our child in the ordinary sense. We took him in years ago, under circumstances that still make my stomach turn. We'd found him late one night, standing in the snow on the outskirts of a small town called Hamilton Glade. He looked about 8 or 9 then, but that was well over a decade ago. We were younger and naive, thought we were doing a kind deed by taking in a lost boy. We had no idea what we were unleashing on ourselves. He doesn't age. He never has. He's always been around 9 years old. When he first showed up, we tried everything to figure him out. DNA tests, medical exams, but he refused anything that might tip off authorities. And yes, the things he does are monstrous. He doesn't eat normal food. He only feeds on other children. Hannah and I, we help him. We have to. It's the only way to keep him calm, to keep him from turning on us. I've tried to say no, but he has ways of punishing disobedience, ways that defy any logic or law of nature. A few months back, in desperation, we confided in an old acquaintance, Travis, a shady man with a record. We practically begged him to kidnap Tommy and take him away, hoping it would free us from the curse. Travis was exactly the type who might do unspeakable things, but we pretended not to care. We just wanted Tommy gone. But 2 weeks ago, Tommy came back. That's the real story behind his kidnapping. Travis wasn't the monstrous abductor everyone is painting him to be. Well, he is monstrous in his own way, but he didn't stand a chance against Tommy. That night, we brought Tommy home from the hospital, cameras flashing, the cheers from neighbors echoing in our yard. He just looked at us with that familiar blank stare and said, "I'm hungry." My wife tried to reason with him, telling him we needed to wait at least a day, but we both knew how pointless that was. By the next evening, we'd have to find him a meal, a living, breathing meal. I can hardly look at him anymore without feeling sick. People call him a miracle child. If only they knew. He's not a child at all, and Hannah just confessed she's pregnant. My heart twisted in fear. We've tried having a family before, but Tommy doesn't share. Each time he claims them, this baby is no different. We have to comply or face the consequences. So here I am, in my bedroom, hearing Tommy moving around in the hall. He's humming some childish tune, like always, as if everything is perfectly normal, but I can barely breathe, knowing how tonight will end, knowing that in a day or two, we'll discover another missing neighborhood kid, and no one will suspect our sweet miracle boy. Yes, I wanted him gone, but letting him back in was the worst mistake of our lives, and I see no way out, no real hope for rescue. This is our reality, trapped with a creature disguised as a boy, hungry for something I can't begin to justify. If only the world understood that some miracles hide the darkest truths imaginable.